guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Welcome, my name is Aiden. I'm so happy that you're here. Today I'm doing my August palettes. I know I'm still behind. I'm getting more caught up, but that was because June and July I just didn't get things done. I wanted to talk to you about the 7 palettes that I wore throughout the month of August and my thoughts and opinions on them. So I'm going to go from the smallest palette to the largest just to show you what we did. I have ABH Norvina. This is the Mini Pro Pigment palette number 1. Then we have from Florace. This is the Floracis, Flowery Color Eyeshadow Palette. This one they did send me for review. Then I have Ruby May Vibes palette. Then I have 3 Too Faced palettes. I was a little surprised how many I had of those. I have the Appley in Love from Too Faced. I have the Better Than Chocolate from Too Faced. And I also have Italian Spritz from Too Faced. And then finally, the last one I have is the Riviera palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So I'm going to go through these from my least favorite to my most favorite, tell you if I'm going to declutter any of them. There's a couple that I may or may not declutter. Anyway, I will go through and tell you about all of those. Let me know if you've tried any of these, your thoughts and opinions down below as I go through. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, please do consider subscribing, and don't forget to like this if you enjoyed it, because that really does help out YouTubers, small and large. I mean, it helps small YouTubers a lot. Anyway, in last place, I'm going with the ABH Norvina Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 1. There are 9 shades in here. They are kind of a crazy mix. So this one is in last place for a few reasons. One, the shimmers are just mid. They weren't fantastic. They weren't terrible, but they weren't great either. The color story is very specific. You have to really want this color story. Also, the staining. I had staining that lasted to the next day. I took it off, makeup remover, washed my face, skincare, woke up the next morning, oil cleanser, used all of that. Still had staining throughout my next, all my skincare, and then putting another, putting makeup back over it. There was still staining that occurred. And I'm not one that just puts it on my lids, so I'm a little crazy. On my eyes, usually I have an eye cream. There's going to be a moisturizer. There's going to be primer, because I just put my primer everywhere. Foundation, maybe concealer, definitely powder, and then eyeshadow primer. So there's a lot of things that are on underneath for something to stain, which is why it's in last place. I think I'm going to declutter this one. I kind of like it. I wasn't going to declutter it. There's a couple that I was like, should I declutter? Should I not? I think I am going to declutter this one. I like it. I don't love it. I wish there was one more shimmer in it just to balance it out just a little bit more. I know that one doesn't want to show up on camera. There we go. A little bit better. So it was okay. I wanted more, and I did not enjoy the staining aspect of it at all. In 6th place, I have another Anastasia Beverly Hills or ABH palette. This is the Riviera palette. I love the packaging on this. Oh my gosh, it is so cute. It has a lot of colors, very bright colors. There's some neutrals in here though, so it's a little bit more workable, I feel, than the Norvina mini palette. There are some good shimmers in here. I really like the shimmers. There's some nice mattes. You can do more of a neutral look, but you can do more of a colorful look as well. So it's a more versatile palette. I like it. I don't love it. Here we go. We got all of the swatches here. Some of them are very light. You can barely see them. Like that peach. Yeah, that's peach right there. Very hard to see. But some of the brighter colors really do stand out. The shimmers all have a lot of presence. They're very pretty. There is some fallout with them, so be careful with that. But overall, I think this is a nice palette. If you missed it, is it the end of the world? No. But I did enjoy it. It did cause a little staining though, so that is part of the reason why it's down, but not as bad as the other one. I could do looks and not have staining. It was mostly just the purple and then the pink. The other ones were fine, so as long as I didn't use those 2, I wouldn't have problems with staining, unlike every look had staining with the last one. Next up, we have Ruby May #Vibes palette. I had 3 of these that I got from the Chic Beauty box, and you could order the extras. So I ended up ordering the other two that I wasn't going to get. And here we go. This is what it looks like. You have some pretty colors in here. It's mostly a pinky, peachy palette with a couple pops of color. You got that blue and that gold, but you can make some really nice looks with this. Even though these are not as pigmented as some of the other ones, the pink will has some staining too, which is also why it can't be higher up. So I said there are bright but workable colors. I like the color, I like the choices cohesively, and it's a good formula. I like the formula, I think, just a little bit better on this one. It was a little bit easier to work with than the ABH one, because ABH can be a little difficult at times. So yes, I did like this one. This is one that I'm keeping. I think this is the only one I'm keeping because the color story speaks to me more so than some of the other ones. I don't mind that there's only 3 mattes because I feel like I don't know, I just feel like I can get some good looks out of this one, so it's staying. Okay, halfway, right smack dab in the middle is going to be the Better Than Chocolate palette from Too Faced. I picked this up over the summer. This was $15 on clearance at Marshall's, which was a fantastic deal, which is why I ended up picking it up. So you have a lot of neutral colors in here. It's, you know, it's an okay color story. It's nothing too exciting. So let me tell you really fast. I said the color story is just okay. Pretty good quality. Not too exciting, but decent enough. It's not as good as some of the other Too Faced palettes that I've had in the past. I don't think it's terrible, but there's a couple shades like this purple right in the middle. Like, it has hardly any presence whatsoever. It's more of a topper. I'm trying to get you a good look at the formula. There's a lot of fallout. I kept blowing and blowing on my hand because I just had chunks of stuff. So you have to go in very smartly, very lightly as you go. The green is kind of okay. I like some of the lighter, the browns, and you know, there's a couple good shimmers in there, but not too exciting. Glad to have it in my collection for the price that I paid, but definitely not worth the original $50 price tag. And I think these are over $50 now. In third place, we have Italian Spritz, also by Too Faced. This, I feel like, has similarities to the Riviera palette. The names kind of go together too, but this, they did it so much better. I like the mix of colors. I feel like I get a whole bunch more looks with this. There's no staining. The shimmers in here are a very different formula, whereas the last one was kind of crumbly a little bit. These are very metallic. They have a presence to them. Even like, if you can see the chunks there, they're sticking there. So you have to really blend them out, but they are going to be a matte that really works. So I really enjoyed the color story of this one. I liked that there's several different light shades, so I could do something a little bit more pinky, I could do a little bit darker, but you know, you also had a nice brow bone. You have some good mid-tone mattes in here. You have a lot of shimmers. They're just really pretty. I really enjoyed this one. I just didn't enjoy it quite as much as the top 2 ones. The top 2 were both palettes that I just absolutely loved. This is a love too, just not as much of a love as my top 2. Second place is Florasis. This is the Flowery Color eyeshadow palette in 01. I hope that they have another one because I was thinking about this as I was swatching it. This is not a good palette if you are a darker complexion. I don't think this would show up very much on your eyes. The shimmers would. There's some gorgeous shimmers in here, but some of these mattes, I mean, they are very light, which works for me because I'm very light anyway as it is. So yes, beautiful shades. I really like the shimmers. Like, look at that, how it catches the light. It's just really pretty. So there are 10 shades in here. Half of them are, no, 4 of them are shimmers. Then there's 6 mattes. So I felt like I got a couple different looks out of it. There's some repetitiveness because it is such a light palette, but I just felt pretty every look that I did. Not taking into consideration that I got this for free or anything. I really enjoyed the palette. I don't know how much this is. I should probably look that up. But I enjoyed it, and I would try other things from them. I might even try to put an order in the new year. Finally, in first place, it is Happily in Love by Too Faced. This palette just spoke to me the minute that I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, I really, really like this. I just was really drawn to the color story. There's a lot of pinks in there. There's a couple pops of green that are just beautiful. Like we have this kind of minty green and then a more darker green. I like that there's a couple like brownish shades in here. Oh my gosh, I just saw it and I saw other people kind of talking about it and I was like, I really, really want this. So anyway, I knew it was one that I wanted to get. I just didn't want to wait. And this is one that I feel like I want to keep using it. I wish I was wearing it today. I wish it was, you know, not trying to use up and try out some of my other palettes that I've been working through in September. I could have just kept using this and kept using this. So I said, absolutely love. The colors, the finishes got compliments. Highly recommend it. If any of these you are going to purchase, this is the one that I would recommend. Number one out of all of them. It's just so good. The shades in here, you have really good shimmers. The mattes are nice. There are a couple shimmers that are similar, like they're kind of color, you know, close in color there in the middle, but there's, it just is so pretty. They work really well. I had so much fun with this. I really enjoyed it. I felt like I could do work looks. I could do more fun looks. I could do just a whole bunch of different looks with this one. It has a very, very light scent to it. I wouldn't let that distract you if you don't like scented. It doesn't smell like the other, the older Too Faced palettes. I don't really get a lot of scent from this one. So this one is my number one. I really, really love it. I forgot to say a couple things. So Florasis, I said, was very pretty. The shimmers, very pretty shimmers, soft mattes, good for work, got compliments. Also, Italian Spritz was really fun. Some good shimmers and mattes, can be neutral, very bright colors as well. So kind of, you know, I just wanted to make sure I covered all of my notes. Anyway, that is it for my ranking for my August palettes. I am halfway through September at this point when I'm filming this, so I've been using other palettes. I think the one that I'm wearing today is going to probably be a declutter, spoiler, and you'll find out what palette that is when we get closer, but it's a little much for me. This is not my normal type of look or I feel very comfortable with. Anyway, let me know if you've tried any of these, if I tempted you in any way. Good if it's the Happily palette. If not, that's fine too. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let me know how you're doing down below, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.